On early morning of March 8, 2014, Malaysian flight MH370 was scheduled to go from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia to Beijing, China. The flight took off as scheduled with no complications on the local time, 12:41 a.m. On board, there were 239 people, 2 of whom were pilots and 10 were cabin crew. The other 227 were passengers. The flight was guided by air traffic control to go on a direct route to the waypoint Igari between Malaysia and Vietnam over the South China Sea. At 1:19, Malaysian air traffic control handed the flight over to Taiwanese air traffic control with a reported last message being, "Good night, Malaysian 370.
Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Approximately 2 minutes later, the flight disappeared from the air traffic control radar. Malaysian Airline issued the flight being missing at 2:40, but was later found that the correct time was 1:19. Malaysian Airlines wasn't notified until 2:40.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
The airline's CEO saying, quote, "We deeply regret that we have lost all contact with flight MH370.
When the contact was lost with the flight, no distress signal was sent. But military radars still following the flight recorded that it made an almost 180 degrees turn heading back towards Malaysia. Flying in now the very off-route path. The phone signals of pilot Shah indicated that the plane flied over the island of Penang, which is in the Indian Ocean, indicating that the plane had flown towards the Indian Ocean, where it was lost from all radars. According to the information from the ACAR system, which Boeing includes in its planes to communicate with a satellite for maintenance purposes, the plane kept flying into the Indian Ocean for another 6 hours before the signal was lost. The reason for this action of the pilots is still unknown. The implied theories are that it could have been hijacked, but several reasons make this theory not the most viable. Regarding this theory, police looked into the background of all the crew and passengers, but none of them had any records suggesting they were criminals. Another theory is that the plane caught on fire, causing it to rapidly depressurize, causing everyone to suffocate. What that would lead to is a ghost flight where everyone was either dead or dying, which would explain why the flight was going into random directions for a while before it started heading in a straight direction and ultimately ran out of fuel, but the path of the flight towards the Indian Ocean seemed too calculated for that. Another theory is that it could have been a suicidal crash by the pilots, but when asked, the friends and families of the pilots addressed that neither of them showed any signs of emotional distress. But in a flight simulator in the house of the pilot Shah, it did show that he flew the plane in the simulation towards the Indian Ocean, which makes it a lot more viable that the pilot made his decision on purpose, but his reason behind it is still unknown. The country requested assistance from Malaysian Air Force, Civil Aviation, Navy, and Maritime Enforcement Agency known as Malaysian Coast Guard for International Identification, and also requested the help of 5 power defense arrangements. Within 2 days, 34 aircrafts and 40 ships were dispatched to the suspected area for searching the aircraft. When the search effort was at its peak, it included 26 countries, using nearly 60 ships and 50 aircrafts. By March 13th, the manufacturers of the plane's engine, Rolls-Royce, confirmed through the Aircraft Communication Addressing and Reporting System, ACAR for short, that the airplane's path deflected towards west from intended path. On March 15th, the Malaysian Prime Minister affirmed the deflection of the plane's path, and the search was shifted towards the southern Indian Ocean. The search didn't yield many results, but by the end on July 29, 2015, for 1,000 kilometers to the west of the underwater search area, in the western Indian Ocean on the Reunion Coast, a piece of marine debris was found which later by the research of France's Civil Aviation was affirmed to be a part of the aircraft's right wing. In the following days, more debris was found possibly associated to the aircraft, and a search for more debris was started. On January 17, 2017, the joint underwater search by China, Malaysia, and Australia was officially announced to be suspended when, despite numerous efforts, the plane could not be located. Malaysia received proposals from 3 companies to continue the search on October 17, 2018, Later that month, a statement was released by the Malaysian government stating that they were discussing further search with Ocean Affinity on the basis of no fee if the wreckage was not found. The search went from January 22nd to July, ending without results. To this day, the wreckage of the plane has not been found, but there are newer theories on the location resulting from different researches and calculations, but there is no ongoing research. In March 2022, Ocean Affinity committed to continuing its research in 2023 or 2024, but the approval from Malaysian government is still pending. Whatever the reason for the aircraft disappearing might be, it certainly is an interesting mystery, and we'd love to hear your theories in the comments. So if you found this story interesting, please like and subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications, and we'll see you soon with another interesting mystery.